All right, so we gonna talk about everybody's favorite subject a little bit. Yeah, that's COVID-19. But in a unique situation, we had a breakout with one of the first two teams that was 85% vaccinated, and now they seem to be one of the teams with a pretty marginal breakout. So that team I'm talking about is the New Orleans Saints, and they happen to be one of the states with some pretty strict COVID regulations. So, Jay, the question is simple: how did this happen?
Uh, I'd, I'd like to know as much as you would. Uh, it is mighty curious, isn't it? You have eight people right now, six of them offensive coaches. You have a nutritionist, and you have one player. I'd be curious to know if that's an offensive player. Um, but I guess so. I mean, it's hard to. We're living in a place right now where it feels like the official narrative when you talk about the vaccines and COVID and all this, it's the unvaccinated's fault. Um, I'd like to know how that applies here. I really would. Is it conceivable that one of these coaches perhaps caught it from somebody that was unvaccinated in the city or whatever, and then brought it on in and gave it to his other coaches and everybody? I guess maybe all eight of them got it, out on the street somewhere from the unvaccinated. But it's weird, isn't it? I mean, you would think everybody's been vaccinated. Well, I know Sean Payton said all the coaches were vaccinated, 100% vaccinated, he said. And you said, like, yeah, the Dolphins and the Saints were the first two teams in late July to cross the 85% threshold. The GM said, yeah, we're going to be well over 90%. So I think the Saints, as far as vaccinations go, have done pretty well. And now you got this. It makes you wonder about these vaccines. I mean, I just got to say, I mean, I know, like, I don't think we expect them to be 100% foolproof, but my understanding was if you got the vaccine, you should be protected from getting COVID. So, how is it that six offensive coaches that have been vaccinated all got it? Uh, You asked the question.
Well, I think that's a misconception because the vaccine don't stop you from getting COVID. The vaccine is it helps protect you if you was to get COVID. So the symptoms they're not as
Right,
severe to a person that's vaccinated as in someone that's unvaccinated. So you can definitely get COVID being
right,
vaccinated.
right. But I mean, right, right. But we've also, it just feels like we've been led to believe that you get vaccinated, you're good, carry on. And this, you're right about the severity and all that. But I just feel like if we're getting too many examples of breakthrough cases to where it doesn't match up with what people are telling us. Like the whole bit where, like, hey, get the vaccine and you can show your face around town again. Now it's completely opposite. No, no, we need everybody to cover your face, get the vaccine, and social distance, and just everything maxed out. And it's still spreading. I mean, from what I understand, the numbers are as bad as they've ever been, if worse, because of the Delta variant and whatever next variant they got in the queue back here. So
It's that mu.
yeah, the mu.
The
Yeah.
mu.
So I
How you
I
like
think
that?
the whole thing's curious. The whole thing's curious to me because now, like, it seems like if you've been vaccinated, even if you get it, just, I don't know, just treat it like, I don't know, people get colds and all these things. I mean, things happen. People get sick. You gotta move on. You gotta carry on with life. We cannot. I don't think we can continue to shut down society because of one pathogen. We don't do this for anything else. Like, I don't know anything about the numbers as far as drunk driving accidents and all these other things, but there's no movement out there that I know of that says stop selling alcohol. There's no movement out here to stop selling cigarettes because it's causing people to get cancer. I know that doesn't quite match up. It's probably a little apples and oranges feel to it, but we don't do this for anything else. We don't shut down society because of fill in the blank for whatever thing that's scourging us right now.
And I agree with you, but like you said, the apples and oranges. If any of those things had shut down the world, I think you would have like a better picture of that. But none of those things shut down the world. Half of these countries don't even smoke cigarettes, and the other half probably don't even allow alcohol. But I get what you're saying. Like, we don't make everything else a big deal while we're making this a big deal. And I think it's just a big deal because of the large scale of what it done. I mean, this virus has shut down whole countries. Like Japan, for example. Japan hurting here. The Olympics look like a AAU basketball tournament because couldn't nobody go to the Olympics. Couldn't nobody take it serious because they have yet to get this under control, and we got vaccines all over the world. My problem with this whole thing is this. Like you say, if you're gonna tell me, I'm at less risk to, catch COVID again or to, be severely hurt from COVID, then I say, yeah, cool. I'm going to get most people say I'm going to go get the vaccine because in long terms, it sounds like that's what makes sense. But then when I go out and get the vaccine, just like I was asked to do, just like I volunteered to do, and then you tell me, hey, but different from Joe Smo over there, he decided not to go get it, but y'all both got to wear a mask. Now I'm kind of like, what was the advantage of getting this again? Now I'm looking at this Saints situation like, wait, they was doing what they were supposed to do. Clearly they was doing. Oh, the team well over 90. You got the GM beating his chest. We're going to be over 90, baby. Come holler at us. Oh, you're required to have all this extra stuff when you go to a Saints game now. Oh, by the way, our coaching staff, hey, we're leading from the top, folks. Coaching staff is 100% vaccinated. So hopefully the players follow suit. And we're going to keep this thing tight because we want fans in the building. Wait a minute. We got an outbreak. Whoa, we got it. How? Sean Payton, you got an answer? No, Sean Payton is not a doctor. He don't have an answer. Listen, what this tells me is you can be as safe as you want to be. You can wrap yourself in plastic. You can not go outside. You can turn into a vampire. You can do all these great things that's supposedly going to help you stay away from COVID. It's everywhere. It's outside. I don't know, the mailman that delivered your mail probably sprinkled a little COVID on there because he or she didn't know that they had it. Or, just everyday simple stuff. Listen, I work on a military base. Every day I gotta get in contact with a dude a dude or a woman at least once or twice because I gotta go through that gate depending on what I'm eating for lunch, right? So that person right there, even though they got on a mask, because I ain't driving around my car with a mask on. You can best believe that.
But there are people that do. Let me tell you about it.
But
back me up.
Right there. Okay, he got on the mask. I don't. He might not be vaccinated. I am. But somehow one of us could still be COVID-19 positive. So I think stuff like this is starting to make me realize, like you said, we gotta stop being so scared of everything. Listen, go out, get vaccinated if you want. Don't get vaccinated, whatever, your risk. But this whole, you're a terrible person in the world if you don't get vaccinated. You don't care about others. Yeah. You want others to die. Clearly that's not the case because people are doing the right thing and you still get outbreaks. They don't want people to die. Oh, but what do you know? It's still an outbreak. So this whole, as time goes, this just starting to feel like a story that's never gonna end. And it's like your buddy that always got an interesting story for everything. You wake up in the morning, you're like, hey man, you know what? I cracked the egg this morning. It didn't even have a yolk in it. Oh man, let me tell you about that one time, man. I had these eggs. You know what I'm saying? I bought an egg with no shell, if you can believe that. It was a carton of eggs and none of them had shells. Like, you got that one guy that just got this story that's just so much amazing. This is how I'm feeling about COVID now. It's just a story that just, it's dying out, but media keeps making it a way to like make it interesting again. Yeah. Oh, we started, you know, we kind of pushed back and was like, all right, man, all right, we take the vaccines. Oh, that Delta variant, oh my God, it's dropping people like flies. Oh,
now we got to do boosters and we got to do all the other.
Now you need a booster shot.
Oh, I've told you. I know it's a cynical point of view, and I don't love it, but I've said this for months now. There's some people in this country that don't want this to end. There's people out there who, if they could, they come out here with flags that say "Make COVID great again." Let me tell you about it. It's a shame, but that's what I believe. And you made a great point, because the whole wrapped in plastic and all this other crap. And you see people. I mean, I've seen videos of people in grocery stores where they have like these mobile pods over them, and they just moving them with like their feet and everything. It's like, is that really worth it? Think about it. I've been thinking about the social consequences of all this for a little bit over a year now. And the thing about it is we were already becoming a more disconnected society from each other, because everything's digital and everything's via smartphone and all these other things. You mask the entire country, that only makes that worse. And then you're over here talking about things like mental health and suicide and all these other things that we're not talking about as much as we should be. You drink. Me and you walk down the street and we both have our faces covered. We're not going to talk to each other. It's just not. You remove facial expressions and all these other things that matter to social beings that we are. These are consequences that we'll live with. And the most tragic thing is what it's done to the children, man. You know, I think I don't know if I've ever said this on this program, but one of the saddest moments of this pandemic is I remember driving back from Wilmington back home. And I remember there being a playground on the left side of the road, and every kid out there had a mask on. And that was just one of the saddest sights I've ever seen. And just knowing that something like that's going on, where like 8 hours a day for something that we can't stop, by the way, Drink. This is 18 months of slowing the spread or whatever. Slow the spread, not stop the spread. We ain't stopping it. We cannot stop it. It's going to do what it does. So the whole thing about being in plastic and all this, that's probably somewhat hyperbole, but is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth, all these mitigations that in the end, I mean, it would seem to me they're not doing a whole lot. Is it worth, just, shackling society because of it?
No, and man, you make a good point, and that's what you just said reminded me of this one time. I'm gonna hit this story and we out. But I remember vividly, like back in, so it was 2020. I want to say it was like the beginning of 2020, and I remember this like yesterday. I can't unforget this. My daughter go outside to play. She go down the street. She go to play with her friends. Normal friends she been playing with for at least about a year or 2 years at this point, right? She go outside to play with them. She goes down there. The kids, they got on masks, and that part didn't really bother my daughter. Whatever, all right, cool. She go to play with them. One of the girls say, "Hey, hold up, you gotta stand 6 feet away." And then my daughter like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "So how exactly do we supposed to play if I'm supposed to be 6 feet away from you?" And she was like, and the little girl, with a straight face said, "Listen, that's what my mom said. So she don't want me to get sick. So I don't know what to tell you." And I never seen my daughter so dejected in her life. You know what I'm saying? Seeing her 8 years old, it crushed her. And she told me with a straight face that day, COVID is ruining my life. Cause she don't understand like this whole she gotta sit on a bus seat by herself. She can't play with her friends. She can't, you know what I'm saying? She getting fussed at for leaving her mask all the time. She don't understand that, you know what I mean? So I think that's a fantastic point you made about the social disconnect, because our kids are the ones that's getting the brunt of this. This different civilization. You know what I'm saying? When you go home, you think about it. When your kid don't want to go outside anymore, they don't want to do anything outside because they don't want to hear about COVID, or they don't want to hear some other parent fussing about COVID. Just remember that. We weren't raised like that. We was able to do what we wanted to, move how we wanted to, et cetera, et cetera. That was a fantastic point. I gotta applaud you for that because I do think our kids are getting the short end of the stick.
And great story too to back that up. Appreciate it.